what are you doing here? Like, why are you here?
Why are you here? Like, what? What is the goal?
What is the point?
There's no answer.
There's no answer. And I think that's what we're meant to believe.
Meditation is harnessing the mind. It's about focusing the mind. It's not emptying the mind. You actually can't stop the mind from doing anything. Like, the mind doesn't work that way. So you tell the mind, okay, no, do, and it's going to do. Clap it up, clap it up.
Clap it up, clap it up, back it up, back it up.
Back it up, back it up.
I don't know what song that is.
I don't either.
It's like your ass claps. I can't clap my ass. Can you?
I can't either.
I
you would
think
think
it's a
my
skill.
butt is so big that you would be able to, but I can't.
I bet you could if you took a class on
I
it.
definitely could if I took a class.
Yeah.
I want to.
I think a lot of people are pole dancing these days.
They are.
For fitness.
I want to, but I kind of don't because I feel like it's a lot of work.
It seems like it hurts your legs. Like, everybody's got bruising and like marks, like where it's like the thought of my skin going like on the pole.
Yeah, that doesn't sound appealing.
Yeah, and I hurt myself a lot.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot of work, and I don't know if I want to work that hard.
Yeah, like, I want to work hard, but I want to just like lift weights.
Yeah, I want to work hard in a different way.
Speaking of trying new things. It's Gemini season.
Oh,
Gemini.
God. That
Oh my God,
actually
I just
is
thought of something. We should have dressed the same.
Fuck for the twins.
Throw the phone. Even though we're not wearing the same clothes, we're twinning in energy. Last Gemini season, it happened to me 3 times with the same eggs in the same like carton of eggs.
Oh, you had the 2
I
eggs.
kept cracking eggs and they had 2 yolks. 3 times, maybe 4.
Wow, Gemini season.
And I like took a video and I said, what in the Gemini season is going on?
Literally, Gemini season. Geminis.
Like, how are we showing up as twins? How are we showing up as 2 different versions of ourselves? Have you ever dated a Gemini?
What is wrong with us? Are we okay?
Have you ever dated a Gemini?
I have dated a Gemini. Wow, he broke my heart.
Same girl.
He broke my heart. I cried for weeks. I showed up at his house and
Is that from a musical?
No.
Oh my God, I thought it was like a song. He broke my heart. I cried for weeks.
No, I did. This is me. This is my life. This is my real life, Natalie. It was devastating.
How long were you together?
Well, like on and off because he really couldn't commit to me, you know?
That is the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to get your heart broken, date a Gemini.
Actually terrible. Oh my God. Yeah, it was actually terrible, actually. Wow.
I'm sorry, bringing up the trauma.
Yeah, I'm traumatized.
We can trauma bond.
Yeah, this guy.
Remember when we got everybody started saying trauma bond all of a sudden? Like,
yeah.
It was like around COVID, everybody was like, trauma bond, trauma bond, trauma bond, trauma bond.
Trauma bond. We're trauma bonding.
About like dating. Like they were like, oh, do you actually like him? Or are you guys trauma bonding? And I kind of feel like when shit was real bad, like real lockdown-y, I do feel like we were all in this like fight or flight mode, and like whatever trauma we were experiencing from it, I do feel like I kind of, was trauma bonding when I was dating.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I think it can be both. Maybe because I feel like so many people, most people have traumas, so you can probably find a way to bond traumatically with anybody.
I know. I mean, I'm also a trauma-informed yoga teacher, and my teacher that trained me was kind of like, honestly, like everybody kind of needs to teach in a trauma-informed way, because everybody walking in a yoga studio's got trauma. We all got trauma.
Like literally.
Everybody.
everybody should be teaching in a trauma-informed way.
Yeah, you're not getting out without it.
I don't know how that's just not a part of like normal trainings.
I don't know why either. It just seems obvious.
I mean, we do have Sarit comes in and does a full day. It's not like a full like the full but she does a full day of trauma informed.
That's nice.
And I do a social justice day.
Similar. And I just feel like trauma informed should just be like across the board for every single occupation.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that every single person and this sounds like the radical left.
No, but it should.
But it should, like, like you go to the doctor, like there should be consent. There should be like, hey, I'm going to touch your leg and then I'm going to touch your arm.
Yeah.
Like just give people
the
a
same
heads
way
up.
that there should be DEI. Now they're taking DEI away from everything, but the same way that there should be DEI, there should be trauma informed. There should be, yes, just so that we know how to handle people with care, consideration, compassion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that people feel safe.
Yeah.
Isn't it better?
Well.
Collective sigh. All right, everybody. We are in Gemini season.
Oh, I think the phone is ringing.
Oh. Should I get it?
I think you should. Look at me taking initiative on the phone ringing today. Isn't that cute?
Hello? Oh, hey. Uh-huh. Oh, hold on. Hey, Court.
Yes?
The universe called.
Oh, what did they say?
I'm so excited. I am so excited. I'm so scared. Okay, bye. If you don't know what that's from, but I know you do, it's from Saved by the Bell.
You don't know what that's from. You are young as hell.
I mean, honestly, not really.
I guess
Not really. We're just older.
Could you be 35 and not know what that's from? Probably.
No.
Well, what do you mean?
Because I'm 40. I feel, well, yeah, I guess maybe.
Because you were
I grew
when
up
you
with
watched
it.
that.
I don't remember. Maybe middle school.
Yeah, maybe your older sister was watching it. Were you kind of young watching Saved by the Bell?
You think so? John says yes.
Oh yeah,
I guess so.
5-year-olds were into Pokemon and stuff. That's
Yeah.
really
I think, my mom actually did say, when we talked about my birthday, she was like, because you had an older sister, you did everything early.
Yeah. Okay, so why this quote?
Why this quote? Because in this Saved by the Bell episode, Jesse Spano, Pickle, no.
Pickle, no. No, Pickle.
Wait, Pickle, if you want to be here, you got to be on camera, not eating that bag of chips. Come here. Okay, so in that Saved by the Bell episode, Jessie Spano is the character that's very, she's probably like a Capricorn, She is.
Yeah, I would say.
Right? She's a goody two-shoes. She's also like an overachieving student, and she has something, I think it's like a test that she's studying for, something like that. And so she starts honestly taking speed. It's speed, right? And she doesn't realize, I think, the repercussions of what she's doing. So she keeps taking it and she's just like, I just need more pills. And it's like, this is getting dark. But she keeps doing it, and then she breaks down in this moment with Zach. Finally, Zach's the lead guy, and he's like, what's going on, Jessie? And she's just like, I just need more pills. He's like, stop, what's going on? And then she fully breaks down.
Because she's there's a test, and she's the performance. There's a performance because they're gonna sing, I'm so excited. That's why, because they're gonna
thank you for saving me.
Yeah,
that's why she's saying,
yes, that's what it was.
I'm so excited, and I just can't hide.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm saying this now is I kind of feel like with the Gemini season, Gemini does rule the nervous system. We'll get into it more, but Gemini can be overwhelming because it's so many things. Its attention goes everywhere, and it can kind of burn us out a little bit very quickly, where there's no oxygen left, and we might break down. Our nervous system might go which I feel like is what happens to her.
I think of like a balloon just going.
Yeah, like you're blowing it, and it pops maybe actually.
Yeah.
And it's just like there's nowhere left to go. So that's my comical way of entering into Gemini season, or at least that's what the universe said. To remind us maybe to take care of our nervous system this time.
Yes, because that Gemini energy is up, 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 up. It's mutable.
Yeah, mutable meaning changing. It changes. That's why Courtney's heart was broken. It's like, am I in love or am I
this
not?
mutable person was like, I'm over here, I'm over here. Oh, I love you. Maybe I don't. Oh, maybe I want to hang out with you. Maybe I don't. Oh,
Yeah, they love bomb. Just saying. Like, like the Gemini that broke my heart. Like our first date, he was like, and I was like, what? He like paused and stared at me, and I'm like, what? He's like, I can see you as an old woman.
Wow.
I can see you with our kids. And I was like,
eye roll.
love bomb.
And we were like, oh my God, Penny's wet. And
Yeah, exactly. Like this Taurus sun, Cancer rising is like, marriage.
marriage.
Yeah, I wanted marriage.
Okay.
And Geminis don't.
No.
Unless it's like,
Well, that's not true.
you know what? One of my besties who lives in New York, her and her husband are both Geminis. And they both want it.
I think a Gemini just has to find the right. It's just got to be the right combination. And also, you know what? We're talking about one sign in someone's chart.
We're talking about their sun, and there's all sorts of factors.
There's so many factors. So, like, who fucking knows? But
That's right.
Great. So, Gemini is mutable. It's also an air sign, so it's mutable air, which just makes it even more ungrounded.
Yeah.
It's hard to hold.
It's like the wind.
It is the wind.
It's changing directions.
Changing. So Mercury, I think we talked about Mercury when we covered Virgo, maybe a couple months ago. But as a recap, Mercury is the trickster. It is the messenger, but a lot of astrologers will characterize it as being like almost like a megaphone, like the amplifier. So it amplifies whatever planet that it's near, or whatever sign that it is in. It's kind of like a chameleon a little bit, so it can take on the shape, the sound, or the feel, or the energy that it's around. Which is why people sometimes perceive Geminis to be a little bit like shapeshifters, a little bit like fake, phony.
I mean, let's be honest. You don't know who you're going to get. Like, you don't know. You're coming home and you're like,
Right.
who's going to be here?
They're great storytellers, right? So they can tell the same story, but it might shift depending on who they are telling it to, or like what group they are in, what mood they are in, right? And everyone can do that to a certain extent, but the Gemini is an expert at it because of the Mercury.
That's
right?
so interesting. I've never thought about it like that.
Yeah. And so their minds can work overtime. They just really have.
They're quick.
They're quick.
Because, like, if we think about the wind changing, wind is quick. Like, it's going one way and a gust goes the other way. Like, it's changing direction. I think about, like, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes, but mentally.
Yeah. Like, that's their brain.
But also, Mercury, the god Mercury, or the messenger, he did have wings on his feet. So, like, also they can move fast too. Sometimes, like, people ruled by Mercury, they can be like quick moving people as well.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, but usually it is more their mental movement. They're quick witted.
Yes, they're fun.
And because their mind moves so fast, sometimes it can get away from them.
Yeah.
And it can create sometimes some anxiety. They have a propensity for being overwhelmed. And that's not to say that every Gemini is like an anxious person. That would be a ridiculous, thing to say. And also, like, anybody can be an anxious person, Bless you.
Thank you.
But, because, again, their mind can move so quickly, and sometimes, again, it can move quickly without their
control.
Their control. That's
Yeah.
good. It can cause a little bit of anxiousness.
Yeah.
And
Wires get crossed.
wires can get crossed. And when that happens, it can create some elevation in the nervous system. We're talking about the nervous system. Mercury actually rules the nervous system.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to look at what signs rule different parts of the body, especially in the context.
It also rules the hands too. Yeah, which I think is kind of fun because probably they talk with their hands.
Just
But yeah, it rules the nervous system. So with the sun and the moon in the sign of Gemini, we all might be feeling just this need to kind of do.
Yeah, I think the energy right now is heightened. It's ripe for trying new things and doing new things. And I do think that it's also a very social sign. So it's a good time to spend time with other people collaborating, especially a twin, right? Whether it's a good friend that you mirror.
Like a twin soul.
Yeah, like a twin soul, or a bestie or whatever, but feeling into this, how things come in twos, kind of looking for those types of themes, and also getting a little more social and being ready to try new things, to dive in. I do have a Mars in Gemini, and that's why I try things a lot without thinking. Sometimes when I teach, I don't know if this ever happens to you, but my brain works faster than my mouth. I know where I want to go and I know what I want to say, and then sometimes my brain is working faster than I can get the words out. And so then I'll kind of fuck up my words because I'm you know what I mean?
Yep.
They can either get slurry or whatever, and then I'm just oh, and I'm
Yeah.
take a pause.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I have to pause quite often because I'm okay, wait, this is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to say to you because I'm excited. Or I'll sometimes get excited because I'm I know where I'm going and I know what we're going to do. But let me just chill for a second.
Which I think is also kind of Gemini.
The excitement.
That excitement, because it's exciting to try new things. And also, other astrology that's going on right now is the Aries is in Venus, or Venus is in Aries.
Venus is in Aries.
Neptune is in Aries.
And Mars is still in Leo.
And Mars is still in Leo.
All of that energy is very let's see some progress in in our ideas, right? We have ideas.
We have ideas. Let's try them. Yeah.
And we want to see some progress in this. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think maybe that might not be till June, Jupiter going into Gemini.
That's June. I think that's June. Yeah, the big
that's
Jupiter
coming.
thing that's going to happen. That's going to hopefully make everybody happy. But I'm please, waiting on this Jupiter transit.
I know. It's sort of when you actually get into the astrology, sometimes I do feel the thing that we get stuck in, at least for me, is being watching and waiting for the good transits, and you're just okay. But that's why we like to talk about it, because we want to work with the energy rather than wasting it or ignoring it. We're oh, this is the energy of the time. So in addition to us talking about Gemini sun, which is what we're in, Gemini moon, we are also in a new moon, and a new moon is a void. A new moon is an opportunity to be quiet, to be dark, to be still, which is the opposite of what Gemini probably wants to do. So a Gemini moon is interesting. I'm I wonder what your mental state is today, y'all.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about a lot of different things? And so I think the medicine right now is, rather than us to go, okay, let's stop everything because we're working with a Gemini moon, but it's rather to take our energy and focus our energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when that energy is focused, if we're talking about Gemini being wind, we can think about if you were had wind, what are they called?
A wind tunnel.
A wind tunnel, or even like wind energy. And like we're harnessing it.
A windmill?
Thank you.
A windmill, yeah. There you go. I see it.
A windmill, right? We're harnessing that energy. And when we do, it has a lot of energy and it can be directed super clearly. So that's also, I think, the sort of positive side of Gemini is like this ability, actually, if they do focus, oh, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
In this really exciting way.
Whenever I start teaching the new teachers and I start to teach the Yoga Sutras, I always acknowledge that I think one of the biggest misconceptions about yoga and specifically meditation is that we're supposed to not think about anything. And I think when I first started meditating or wanting, even being interested in meditation many years ago, I thought, oh, okay, I'm just supposed to like not think. Like I'm just supposed to like empty my mind. I think that's what I thought. And I quickly learned that that's actually not what meditation is. Meditation is harnessing the mind. It's about focusing the mind. It's not emptying the mind. You actually can't stop the mind from doing anything. Like the mind doesn't work that way. You tell the mind, okay, don't do, and it's going to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It needs something to do. It's like a toddler. It's like as soon as I tell Rue, don't touch that, she's going to want to touch that.
Yeah.
So I got to give her something to do. If I don't want her to mess with this thing, then I got to give her something to do so she doesn't mess with that thing.
I love it.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, well, I don't want you to play with that. So I'm going to give you this thing to play with that is actually appropriate for you to deal with so that you're not over here. So you have to give the mind something very specific to do, which is either watch the breath or, focus on a deity or whatever it is that want the mind to focus on to help, guide you deeper into that state of meditation. And 1.2 is the definition of yoga, what yoga actually is. Yoga chitti vritti nirodha. And what that translates to mean is yoga is the cessation of the fluctuations of the mind. So essentially what yoga is, like yoga's not chaturangas. It's not down dogs. It's not warrior twos. According to the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, yoga is the stilling of the mind. It is harnessing the mind, being able to focus the mind on one thing so that it's not all over the place. And I think that's essentially what we're talking about as the medicine for this Gemini new moon, for the Gemini season as a whole, but specifically right now, kind of what we can focus on or what we can work during this time.
Yeah. And also, I think in general, right now, in this modern lifestyle that we're in, where we have phones and social media and email and texting and all these things that we are distracted by, I think it's harder and harder to focus the mind because we're not focusing it. Like when I take a yoga class, like that's sometimes the rare moment that I have to actually go, all right, I'm not on my shit. I'm in this shit now, and I'm going to focus and practice focusing. And I don't know about you, but like during COVID, I was like on my phone so much more when it started that I stopped reading. I wasn't able to read a book. I recently like got out of that in the last few months. I started to read more. But it'd be like I'd pick up a book and I'd be like blah 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 blah. Like I just couldn't get my mind in a flow of reading. And it's like, it's a practice, which is like the point, I think, of what you're saying in this Yoga Sutra is like, it's a practice for us to, work with the fluctuations of the mind, to quiet the fluctuations of the mind, to focus them, harness them towards something.
And if we are going one step further and to see how we can utilize this focus to create the things that we want, right? Because we were talking earlier about how this is a time with, Neptune in Aries and Venus in Aries and Mars in Leo and Gemini season being about having all of these ideas and being creative. There is another sutra, 1.21, which I also have tattooed on I always have the things tattooed on my body, okay?
This is actually a podcast about Courtney's tattoos. We're going to change the name.
I always
Court's
have things
tats.
tattooed on my phone.
Oh, it's too bad it's not Nat's tats.
Oh, that would be better.
I don't have any.
No tattoos.
No, the sutras are like invisibly on me.
And those are the Nat's Tats stats.
I don't get it. John. Wait, you were going to say something about your tattoo. We lost Courtney. We're going to lose Pickle in a second. She doesn't like laps.
Oh my God, John is so funny to me.
I like toros.
It makes me laugh so hard.
I think I'm laughing because Natalie didn't get it.
I don't get it. Something about stats. I don't know.
That's okay. 121. The translation, I think, that's in the Heart of Yoga. I can't remember it exactly. It's something about like the person who sees it the most intensely, with the highest degree of intense desire, is the person who. It is close to those with intense desire. Something, I don't know.
Hold on.
Okay, because I was going to say, this is the way I translate it. I have my own
saying stuff about sexuality.
I have my own translation, okay? And the way that I translate it, the one who sees it is the closest to it. And I think this is a translation that I got from my teacher, so I'm not going to claim it as my own. I think Christy translates it as this as well. The one who sees it is the closest to it. And essentially, it's like, if I can see what it is that I want, what it is that I am focusing on, if I can see it clearly, then I'm closer to that goal. And we're talking about like in meditation, but I think it can be applied to life as well, right? Mm-hmm. So it's about shifting that focus to that one thing and being able to really engage with that thing without distractions. So if we're talking about creating something, right, where it's not like 5 things that we're engaging with, it's taking this one thing and nurturing it and really being able to see what it looks like, and like putting our full focus and attention into this thing, and I'm getting closer and closer and closer to that thing, right? And so that, I think, is how we can use the power of the mind to start to create the things that we want to manifest in our lives.
Yeah, things that we want or things that we need.
Mm-hmm. But we have to be clear about it. And that means we have to kind of sit with it.
Yeah, it's not like random.
It's not random, and it's not chaotic. You were saying something like this, I think it was the Taurus moon, where you were saying that, like, sure, art might be able to be born out of chaos, but it's something about that stability that is, and I think it's it applies to this Gemini space as well, of like, we have to be able to sit with it. And that kind of brings us to our main teaching, right? Which is all out of the sutras. I think the sutras is really kind of like, we're vibing with these specific sutras, 1.2 and 1.21. But the last 3 limbs of the 8-limb path, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi, which are our teachings for today.
Those are the niyamas, right?
No, so it's the last 3 limbs.
Oh, got it.
Which is choosing something to focus on, sustaining that focus, and then bliss, which is the state of flow. Right?
Yeah, whenever I talk about the state of flow, I always talk about Neo in the Matrix. So, like, how Neo in the Matrix is, like, dodging bullets. And, like, at first when he tries, he can't do it,
Yeah.
Because he's thinking about it. And, there's a process. When we meditate, it's a little clunky sometimes. We're thinking about what our process is like. And then we keep doing it like Neo. And then all of a sudden we click into our flow and we're just dodging bullets, or we're flowing in a class, or we're breathing and meditating without us even trying. Because we've already been trying. We've already focused. Something like that.
Yeah. And I think the way that and that's why, kind of going back, circling back, pulling all of these things in that we've been talking about, that's why attending to our nervous system is so crucial during this time, because we can't be still and focus and sustain that focus when we are in a state of fight or flight.
That's right.
We have to prioritize kind of that rest and digest so that we can then like be like, all right, this is this thing that I want to focus on and I want to give my attention to and like nurture it and sit with it and sustain that focus. And that's when we get into that state of flow. And that's when it's like cooking. And we might even be in community while we're doing it because it is Gemini season. And it's like, okay, I'm vibing and we're in a state of flow. Like, we don't have to be alone doing it. We can be in community doing it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, literally, like, go to a class or whatever it is. I don't know. John and I meditated together last week. Remember, baby?
Oh, that's nice.
Like, I was like, do you want to meditate with me in the morning? You know, we're not talking about it.
Yeah.
We're together. We're sitting together and we meditated. So there is something to be said about that.
Yeah.
And there, it's helpful, I think, to do things with other people.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, because of the world that we live in, which is so isolating, one of the things that I think everybody struggles with is loneliness.
Yeah.
And we need to be in community more and more and more, as much as possible.
Yeah.
So that way that makes our nervous system also feel calm.
Absolutely.
Our nervous system, because we are scientifically, our bodies and our nervous systems are designed to be with other people. There's all sorts of, reasons behind this or science behind this. I'm sure you've heard of mirror neurons.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like going back to Gemini season.
Yeah.
But like we experience emotions and empathy and all these things because we are able to look at somebody and take in how they're doing and reflect and kind of it's healing. I do have a quote for us.
Yes.
I do have a quote.
I love a quote.
This is from Thich Nhat Hanh.
Yes.
He has some really beautiful work. He has so many books and teachings, and I've read a lot of his stuff. And sometimes I just like to watch videos of him.
Yeah.
I've
I've
he's
never
a very
watched a video of him, but I
sweet
should.
Yeah, it's nice. And I look to him when I used to teach a lot more guided meditation. I used to teach more Buddhist meditation. And so I loved his work because it was very simple and very effective. And this is one of his quotes specifically about resting. And he says, "It's very important that we relearn the art of resting and relaxing. Not only does it help prevent the onset of many illnesses that develop through chronic tension and worrying, it allows us to clear our minds, focus, and find creative solutions to problems." That last part hits me really hard because it's like, I don't know if you've ever had a problem you're trying to solve. And sometimes we think if we just think about it more, we're going to solve it. Like we muscle it versus like, I'm going to go take a nap actually. And this shit's going to get figured out.
Come back to this.
Yeah. Like resting it, letting things rest.
Yeah.
It's also kind of like, if your computer, like last night our Wi-Fi stopped working and I just unplugged it and plugged it back in and then it was fine. It just needed a little rest, Sometimes we all just need to unplug. I was thinking about, when you and I were talking the other day about this and you were talking about teaching yoga training and you were talking about the anatomy of the spine.
Yeah.
And how you were, I don't know if you want to take this on, but like how you were explaining how the spinal cord, like the reason why it's so important that in yoga asana, we're moving our spine around.
Oh, yeah, the
is,
hygiene.
like, the hygiene of that spine.
Yeah.
I mean, we're only as young as our spines, as they say, because moving the spine around, that's churning that nervous system, right?
Well, the spinal cord, it is the house of the nervous system, and the bones and the joints and the ligaments of the spine protect the spinal cord, which is why spinal injuries are so can be so devastating or whatever. I just think it's so interesting that we talk so much about flossing and brushing and washing your hair and showering or bathing, the hygiene of our outer body, but we don't talk about the hygiene so much of our inner body, like our nervous system, and our specifically our nervous system, and how the movement of our spine, the mobility of our spine, in a lot of ways is protecting our nervous system, because when our spine is mobile, right, it is protecting the house for the spinal cord, which is the house for the nervous system, which literally is our operating system.
Yo, it rules everything that's going on.
Hello.
It's like it is the thing that's controlling all this shit.
Like if that goes down, it's like
Yeah. You ever try to use a computer that the software doesn't work?
Like it's literally the software, you know what I mean? So it's like so important that we take care of our spine. And that's why moving the spine is so crucial. It's so crucial. It's so imperative.
And look, there's so many ways for us to do that, like that are accessible. I do want to say, like, because for some people we have limited mobility. You can't come to a yoga flow class and move all around.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to do a more restorative practice or a more guided practice with somebody who's really skilled. But as much as you can, obviously we're encouraging that as part of the practice too.
Yeah.
Is that the asana piece. And I will say, like, for me, I think it was like 3 years ago, I got certified in Yoga Nidra, which loosely is like a yogic sleep. It's a very ancient form of yoga, and it's just a guided rest.
Yeah.
And it's been around for a really long time. They've found like pieces of it in the Vedas and everything. And it's not as taught because it was taught orally. It was kind of passed down as something like through teachers rather than like a yoga asana kind of book or something like that. There's so much importance for this type of guided rest because it puts our brain into all these different layers of consciousness that actually put us into the place like when we're sleeping where our brain cleans itself when we sleep. It actually like totally resets and cleans. Yeah. It's detoxing.
Yeah.
It's like doing all this. This is what it does. I'm moving my hands around. It's like cleaning and clearing all this shit out. And so if you can, and we are gonna do a guided practice here today. So if you can, get yourself ready to go, and you can always pause this and come back to it or save it for later. But I'm gonna lead us through a little guided yoga nidra, and you could do this practice once a day, even for 10 minutes, either guiding yourself or finding a teacher that you like and their work on a podcast or online. I always encourage people to find ways to make it work for you. If we're going to take time to brush our teeth and wash our faces and clean our butts, like, maybe, I don't know why I just said that. So then, and I just nodded along, like, Courtney's like, yeah. It's like, then can we take 10 minutes to rest our brain so that we can create new solutions, so that we can focus that mind?
Yeah.
Are we ready to do that now?
Yeah, I want to read this little piece here, and then I think we'll go into the practice. If we actually want to be successful in manifesting our dreams, it's imperative that we take care of ourselves and our well-being. It's so easy to subscribe to the hustle grind culture. It's up to us to reimagine our relationship with work. When our nervous system is regulated and we can harness the mind, we might find ourselves in a state of flow bliss. The Gemini has the ability to be everything and all things, but that doesn't mean it's healthy or appropriate all the time. Use that Mercury energy to tell your story and your story only. Find joy in the process.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
I haven't read this yet.
Oh, well.
I like it. Cool. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the wrap up.
Yeah.
So if you would like to join us for a gentle guided practice, get yourself as comfortable as you can. You might be laying down. I don't recommend doing this while you're driving.
Please don't. Please don't.
Because we're trying to fully rest the body. So you should lay down or sit down, support your body as you need to. You can put a pillow under you, cover yourself with blankets. And the idea is that we're giving ourselves stillness, but if we need to move for any reason, we also give ourselves the permission or the option to move. So finding your way to your place. So getting yourself as comfortable as you can. And we're going to just settle into our physical body. That was our cat, Pickles, with us. She's actually getting ready for it. So getting yourself as comfortable as you can. And I like to always start my practice by creating a sense of protection around me. So if you want to visualize maybe something from nature or your ancestors or things that help you feel protected and safe. And as you begin, we'll start to release any tension that we might be feeling around the hips or the shoulders, the jaw, or the head. Begin to guide your awareness into your energy body, which is your breath. And we don't have to change the breath, but we'll simply allow ourselves to notice the breath. Feel the air as it comes in through your nose. Expand your lungs and feel the breath as it leaves your lungs and your nose. And take a few more rounds just following the path of your breath. And you're welcome to stay with this type of breathing, breath awareness. Maybe you start to add on. As you inhale, hear the word inhale. And as you exhale, hear the word exhale. Just watching the fluctuations of your breath like a wave. Take a few more rounds. And then begin to sense into your heart center. What is your deepest truth right now? And feel free to set a sankalpa, which is a seed. It can be an I am statement. Maybe it's I am resting, I'm peaceful, I am focused. And whatever that is, plant that seed deep inside of you. It can be something that you return to. We'll now go into a rotation of consciousness through the body. As I name each body part, all you have to do is simply feel that body part and move on to the next, bringing your awareness to each place as it's named. Feel your right hand, your right thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger. Feel your right wrist, elbow, your right shoulder, feel your right rib, your right hip, your right knee, your right ankle,
Bring your awareness to your right foot, your right big toe, second toe, middle toe, ring toe, pinky toe. Feel the whole right side of your body. Bring your awareness to your left hand, your left thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger. Feel your left wrist, elbow, your left shoulder, your left rib, your left hip, knee, your left ankle. Feel your left foot, your left big toe, second toe, middle toe, ring toe, pinky toe. Feel the whole left side of your body. Feel your head resting, your pelvis, bring your awareness to the skin around your eyes, your lips, tongue, your right ear, your left ear, both cheeks. Feel your whole body resting. We now move to rapid visualization. As each object is named, just allow the image of that object to come to mind and move on to the next. See a window, a door, a rocking chair, a paintbrush, a flower, a book, a tea kettle, a pot. Now begin to feel very heavy. Feel as though your body is dropping into the floor. And then feel what it's like to feel very light, almost like you're floating above the earth, up to the sky. And now see if you can feel both heavy and light at the same time. Holding space for both things. And let that go. Gently start to feel yourself come back. Return to your sankalpa, your seed. And perhaps you visualize yourself taking that seed and bringing it up into the sky. And as you let it go, visualize aiming it in the direction that you want the wind to take it. And open your hand to release. Feel your body rest. Begin to deepen your breath. Find some gentle movement.
Take your time, rolling to one side to come up. Perhaps you arrive back seated. Put your hands on your heart. Closing by observing how you feel. Thank you so much for practicing. We hope that this time you can find ways to rest, focus your mind, and allow that energy to be harnessed towards what you really desire. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Peppa wants to get into meow.
The Universe Called podcast with Natalie Burtney and Courtney Sauls. Filming and editing by John Meyer. Theme music by Chit, Studio Inertia. Special thanks to Donna and Robbie Falks.